What's going on, YouTube? Zach is back, bringing you another Pokemon Unite replay commentary. This time featuring, once again, Latias, a Pokemon I featured many times on the channel before, but I just never get sick of it, you know? It's my favorite Pokemon to play, I enjoy it a lot, and this is a really good game for Latias. If you like this video, if you like stuff like this, let me know by hitting that like button. Drop a comment, let me know your thoughts, and subscribe for more stuff like this in the future. Looking at team preview, both teams only have one helper and have a lot of damage dealers, prioritizing attackers. We have 2 attackers on both sides, which means that theoretically in the late game we scale similarly in damage, and our lanes should also be similar early on. So it's going to basically be a matter of how the teams match up against each other, how we play against each other. Knowing that, and knowing they have 2 attackers, my thought is I want to back up this Meowth as much as possible. So actually what I end up doing this game is going Dragon Cheer instead of Mist Ball, my normal build. And normally I save Dragon Cheer for when I'm playing with Latios, but I decided to pick it this game because Meowth is very mobile, and so you can make use of his mobility by Dragon Cheering to him to get out of the way of attacks, or to get Eon stacks more effectively. We're laning into Articuno here, so it's a pretty tough lane, but Meowth does have good bursts, so we can threaten them if they overstay their welcome. We don't want to overstay ours though. So he decides to come back, which I do appreciate. Here I draw the contested over where the enemy team can't see it or get to it easily. But they still managed to get it, unfortunately, on the last hit, because the Meowth backed off a little too early, I would say, but I'm not blaming him. It's 2 ranged Pokemon. This is a tough lane for Meowth, to be honest. Early on, he's going to have a tough time just because double ranged into a melee Pokemon means they can always pressure him before he can pressure them in these engagements. And worse still, their mid is ganking right now, which is really not ideal for us. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that in the background. There was a car horn or something. But anyway, the scissor here, I don't really know what he's doing. But it looks bad, so I decide to punish it. And we get a nice KO in the first one of the lane. It was on their mid gank, thankfully. Of course, we don't want to drop anything after we get that record. The Meowth is pressuring the Espeon very nicely, but it leaves me to 1-1 the Articuno, which is a tough matchup to be sure. Thankfully, the healing of Shell Bell and my Gold Pad with the shield allows me just enough survivability to buy time and escape that little engage there. And look at this, we have a Scizor again coming to lane. I wonder what strange things he's going to do this time. I don't always like uploading videos where one side or the other has someone that throws the game. But there was a lot of interesting stuff with this video anyway, so I thought it was worth uploading, even though the Scizor, I think, is throwing quite a bit right now. 1v1ing me on my pad is not really a good idea, even if the Meowth isn't there, and it gives him a nice triple kill. Seeing as he wants to score, I decided to come with him, make sure he can get his score off. And that way he can get out safely since he has so many levels and so many KOs. Really, as a support, your job for a laning with a strong lane partner like Meowth is make sure they don't get picked off too easily. You don't want them to give up all those levels they're going to gain early on. However, all the time that we're spending bottom fighting them like this, it means that top can go better and better for us, so I don't really mind them getting us like this bottom every once in a while. Really, a 2v3 you're meant to lose anyway, so the fact that we held it together this long is pretty nice since the Scizor has been spending so much time in our lane. The Meowth went Payday this game, which I really like because it gives him some range damage, so we both have range damage together. And you can see how the shield is also helpful for Meowth in terms of giving survivability because it's such a squishy Pokemon. That's another reason Dragon Cheer is good with Pokemon like Meowth. In general, Speedsters, I would say, other than Latios, I would say Speedsters are the best Pokemon to run Dragon Cheer with, specifically because 1, they have the mobility that you can play off of, and 2, they're usually very squishy, and so the shield they get from it really helps them out. Means that here we can live long enough and work together well enough to set their gold pad to 11, so even though they knocked us out earlier and almost broke ours, we're still doing just fine. Top lane, of course, is also doing well at this point. And really, bottom pad is just 1 KO or 2 away from us knocking it out. In fact, if Meowth and I both score our points, we could easily knock it out right now. Nice dodge there of the Ice Beam by Dragon Cheering. Here the Articuno unites as well, but unfortunately he's just outmatched there by himself. And Scizor, of course, as well, like I said before, is doing a bit of throwing. I would not recommend playing this way if you're Scizor. if you're the enemy team and you're behind in a situation like this, it's usually best to group up where you can generate an advantage. So I would have gone top maybe if I were him, or gone back to jungle to farm a little more. That way you're not just giving the enemy team levels for no reason. Thankfully, because top got knocked out so easily, they come bottom and help us out here. The 9-tail score means we miss out on a nice overcap, but we still get the objective down here for free, essentially, after such a good lane. 9-tails does make the smart decision, I think, to go top here and defend immediately, because they will be going there, if anywhere. With these two deciding to push and score, I decided to go with them. Simply for the purpose of scoring my own points, but also, again, you don't want to let these people that have a lot of levels give those levels back to the enemy team. The enemy team's all under level compared to us, so any KOs on us are not ideal. Yep, definitely not ideal. But that's sort of the risk with scoring there. It might have been a reason not to score, or to play a little bit more defensively. And I was considering that as well, but at the same time, if they were going to get knocked out, I wouldn't want to leave them there and then feel like I was responsible for that, especially since I had nothing better to do at the time. Like, all we had on our side of the map was a little bit of farm, which our attackers can obviously clear up very easily. Here, seeing the enemy retreat, I decided to go bottom, though I want to call for a retreat on my team as well. I'd rather just farm and get Eon stacks as I prepare for the top objective. But our teammates are managing to do a lot of work, so I'll come up with them and see what's going on. Oh, Meowth down, time to go top, right? Yeah, I think here I'm just going to go top. Unfortunately, seeing birds like this makes you really want to have Mist Ball, because it's a lot better for clearing farm. But it's still not bad. I think both moves are actually very viable these days, especially since after they buffed Mist Ball a couple months back. I'd say both moves are equally viable in most cases. Dragon Shear is the more popular move, and I think it tends to be because it's the better... How do I put it? It's the better team play move. Like, Mist Ball helps you as Latias be more independently powerful, whereas Dragon Shear is specifically to help your teammates, and it's pretty much worthless otherwise. Here, with the Articuno alone on the objective, we can easily start picking off everyone else as she's defending, and then turn on her afterward. Although, with the Regieleki this low on HP, pushing it in is kind of a pipe dream, to be honest. Even so, if I'm Meowth's here, I can help him pressure a bit. He can get some good KOs. Another one on the scissor, unfortunately for him. And now we've hit 100 Eon stacks. That's also very nice. Ooh, do we manage the break here? We do not. He's going to put another Icicle there to stop us. This is definitely a situation where backing off is the ideal play. I definitely should not have united there. It was sort of a panic play, not wanting to die, wanting to get something off before I die. But it wasn't really ideal. Yeah, you can see I was really unhappy with how I did that. Whenever I shake the camera around, if you've ever watched my stream, you know it means that I'm not happy. I'm not happy with how things just went. And especially not happy dropping a KO to the enemy team in a game like this where we're so dominant. But it happens. We dropped a couple earlier in it as well. Best just not to drop any more if we can help it. The Decidueye here wisely retreats, knowing that giving vision to us and also going on someone who's by himself but could easily from the out connect is definitely not what you want to be doing. Speaking of, as well as the lane went, as well as Meowth has been doing, my goal this late game is just to pocket him, just to play with him, make sure that he can get the KOs he needs and he has the support he needs to get it done. That includes not only the shield and movement of Dragon Shear, but the extra damage to help secure enemy last hits, and of course my Unite move soon to help secure any low HP target that managed to escape Meowth's clutches. Charizard calls the enemy out and exposes their position by going into the pit immediately, but that does mean he gets the first to get knocked out. Meanwhile, the Meowth and I are able to corral some of the enemy team onto our side, and we can easily pick them off individually. This leaves 2 left. The objective is low, but Meowth and I have the same idea. We want to fight the enemy team before we try to push for objectives at this point. Yep, and with that, all that's left is the Espeon. It's a little dangerous to try to last hit into him, especially if he's Psyshock. But we have 4 people here, that's usually enough. Yeah, he wasn't even here in time. I think he might have AFK'd at some point, because he hasn't showed up for a while throughout the game. Like I said, I don't like to show off too much when games are this one-sided. But I thought that the Dragon Shear play was useful to point out, and I wanted to show you can pocket one Pokemon very well and how you can stick with them and help their fights easier. You can see there it kept the Charizard alive a lot longer. Unfortunately, he still went down, but it means that we're easily able to get these revenge KOs rather quickly on the X guys, right? Right, Dragapult? There we go, revenge KOs, just like we wanted. The Meowth did a lot of work this game. I was really happy with his performance, and I was really happy to have pocketed him in the late game. You see how much that shield gives? This is why I love Dragon Cheer with squishy Pokemon. It's also good on Pokemon like Dragapult, because they're so low HP. The cheer is actually a really high percentage of their HP pool, basically. That's sort of what you want when you use a move like this. It's less good on defenders that are less mobile and tanky anyway, that don't really benefit as much from the shield. The Pokemon like Dragapult and Meowth that are, like I said before, mobile and squishy, they really benefit from this. This game did a great job of showing how good Dragon Cheer can be, and even if they played a little smarter, I think the stuff that was making Dragon Cheer good would still be good. But of course, it was a pretty one-sided match with a very, very solid core with Meowth and Dragapult. I was very happy with their performances throughout the game. The Articuno tried well and laned well, but it was a tough match to be sure. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you can see why I like to be flexible in my builds, why I like Dragon Cheer as much as I like Mist Ball. Mist Ball's my preferred because I like to be independent, but when I'm playing with my friends, and especially when I'm playing with Pokemon that can make good use of it, or players that can make good use of it, I really like going Dragon Cheer. It really helps people out. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you. What did I say? I already said like, comment, subscribe. Oh, follow on Twitch in the description if you want to watch when I'm playing live. I play live sometimes. I'm on Twitch. Check me out. It's really fun. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. I really appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.